Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am here, Joe Emilio. We're about to hear from the warden, aka Cyril Ramaphosa, aka other adjectives that I am probably not allowed to say on YouTube. So, hello, welcome one and all. Thank you so much for tuning in. As soon as the president goes live, I will be going or switching over to him, as I always do, when I will be perhaps giving my opinions as well during his little address. There was just something I wanted to check out very quickly. So apparently StreamYard has some new themes. They call this the bubble, and they call this the block. Okay. If they say so. So let's see here. All the usual people. Eleutheria, Amy, Acid Zill, Robin Dandelion, Yanni Vanderfolter, Robin Dandelion. Bradley Cook is here. Thank you so much for everything Bradley Cook saying. Not looking forward to this nothing burger. Yeah. Probably nothing much. Yanni saying hello. Nabila's in the house saying hola. Hello, Nabila. I think you always join me for the president's speeches, but no other streams. It's weird. Kidding. All right, Yanni, if you're listening, I want to know why it seems blurry to me, the webcam. It's supposed to be like crisp, and it's not. I don't know. Maybe there's a setting I'm doing wrong. We must discuss in the future. So let me just get set up here so you guys can see everything. All right, so I'll do this, that, and that. Alrighty, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are awaiting his appearance. Predictions, everybody in the chats, let me know what you think, and I'll let you know what I think in just a moment. Also, for those of you that are watching, there's 20 of you, hit the like, and Yanni saying, please speak to my agent. Okay. I feel like I'm no longer Yanni's friend. Like somehow I've been demoted, and now I'm at the back of the line. It's okay. I'll ask Reese. So yeah, let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Also, go on to SABC. See the live chat there. Tell them to come join this stream. That'd be greatly appreciated. We'll also see you on this stream telling people to join. We'll see you on this stream going onto that stream telling people to come join this stream. I think that's going to be cool. I do want to try something. Yes, I can. Oh, awesome. Okay, so let's have a look at what some of these, because this last time I was looking at this stuff, it was actually quite funny. So there we go. Let's actually change that to live chat. Okay. And I'll have a look at that in just a moment. All right, so what are some of the predictions? We've got about 11 minutes left until he appears. I am drinking tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Coke with a bit of a secret ingredient. Tastes so good. The Coke, I mean. All right, so Bradley saying harder curfew, less dope, no gatherings. I would agree with that. Harder lockdown, perhaps? Well, probably. Possible interprovincial travel and individual lockdown levels per province. That's an interesting one as well. All right, so this is what I think is going to happen. Because in an article, we've seen this time and time again. So every time there's an article before the president comes out, in that article, they speculate what the president is going to say or what the regulations could be. And for the most part, so far, those articles have been correct. So I saw an article earlier this week They said that gatherings, more restrictions on gatherings, possible alcohol ban. They didn't really say anything about travel. Curfews, stricter curfews as well. So I think, this is my prediction, I think we will see a stricter curfew. We will see an alcohol ban, or you might like something where the ban on the alcohol is so severe that you might as well do an alcohol ban. Like, for example, they say, oh, alcohol sales from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Monday to Tuesday, and no on-site consumption, something like that. Ridiculous. So that's the kind of alcohol thing. I do think they will ban travel internationally. I think that's going to happen because Germany and a few other countries have banned South Africa now. No one from those countries are allowed to come to South Africa. So I do think international is going to be a problem. Or not a problem, but I do think international is going to be banned. Domestic flights, though, I think will still be permitted if it's for work. That's what I think we're going to get into. Yeah. Obviously, a lot stricter gathering regulations. A part of me wants to say I fear that they're going to tell us not to visit family, that we cannot travel or go anywhere unless it's for essentials or work. Yeah, I think we're going to go into a lockdown level 2 or 3, or a combination of both. That's what I think is going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, go to this chat that you're seeing now. This is on the SABC YouTube channel. Please go on there and tell them to join this stream. That'd be greatly appreciated. Or you can go to the ENCA one or any other one that might be streaming the president and tell them to come join us here. And then Bradley Cook saying, with the court hearing, smokes and alcohol cannot be removed, but they can make it more difficult to purchase. So I was speaking to someone about this earlier. They can still ban alcohol. They can, unfortunately. I won't go into the details, but I have it from a pretty reliable source that, yeah, they can still ban the alcohol. Cigarettes, they're going to have a tough time with, though. So, yeah, Christo, please don't. Please don't. Although you are a drummer, so. All right, Herman, thank you so much for joining as well. It was nice to hear from you. Cool. So, looking at some of these, you see, this is like, let's look at some of these chats. Like last time I was looking at this stuff, it's quite funny. But I don't see any funny moments now. So, extinction. Someone says extinction. That's nice. Pray for South Africa all over. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, pray for them. That's fine. I love you, Aaron. Okay, someone's professing their love to someone on the chat. That's nice. Aaron, if you're listening. Pink Guy says, who knows Joe? Ha! I wonder if they're talking about me. All right. Hello, Yella. Mensen met COVID gaan nie eers vir isolatie. Wait, I want to try and read that. Ry die verhaal vol asolf hul niks. Makiet instel o ander se levens in gevaar. That deserves a super chat. Come on. All right. That reminds me, actually, while we're talking about that, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to please subscribe, become a member for as little as 10 Rand, and like this video. And if you want, you can support my channel by giving me a super chat. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe, please. If you're new to my channel, give this video a like and become a member for as little as 10 Rand while you still can. And of course, you can always support me by giving a bit of a super chat donation. And yeah, you can join the Telegram group where you get all the updates on my channel, upcoming videos and whatnot, as well as you can follow me on social media. Links are in the description below, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah. Alrighty then. Chris is saying, well done. You'll speak Afrikaans very deliciously. And Cyril Ramaphosa has joined us with a 70 Rand super chat saying, please send me the Zoom link for the address. Yes, 4 minutes until we see you, Cyril Ramaphosa. That is some funny shit. All right, so all right, so Herman saying, Joe, please will you give us a shirt version later? I'm popping off to join the reaction team as a medic, so please pray for us. Will do, Herman. Good luck with everything there. Really, you're in our prayers. And yes, we'll give a short version. I'm sure that's what you meant. All right, cool. So going back to these little comments of your skulls. Here we go. You guys must be bored. Whoa, you guys must be bored over here. Go join Ronaldo House for a better live stream with commentary. See, Skulls is doing it for Ronaldo. You guys got to do it for me, please. Come on. Let's see. No freedom is absolute. You don't rule anymore. It's time for you to obey now. Okay, that's a weird one. They're putting F for Facebook. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that is actually true. Why they're zoom out. There we go. All right. Level 2 booze again in 61 minutes. Whoa, wait. No, it's in 2 minutes. That almost got me. Here. Hi, Mr. President. I don't know. Mr. President. I don't know what that is about. See, some people advertise discount Land Rover parts needed. It's kind of funny. What is CCTV? That's too long to explain. My head is sore. I need a basso. Okay. Level 5, let's go. Now the chats are going really crazy. Incoming alcohol ban. Happy New Year's. My fellow South Africans, I couldn't read that. Level 5 until the 35th of December 2020. JP asking, have you seen the Kiev protest? No, I have not. Been keeping a close eye on the announcements here. I'll check it out later. Now these chats are going way too fast. I can't even. Yeah. It's okay though. We must go to level 6 now. Who the hell is... There was never a level 6. Some people saying free us. We need closure of bars, vaccines, when we Zol. Free us. It's always interesting seeing the amount of different voices, if I can say that. The Skull saying join Ronaldo. No one's saying join Joey Media, but that's okay. Hey Mufundo, hi guys. I'm pretty sure I know Mufundo. It could be another Mufundo though. Crayfish tails for sale. Oh man, that's so random. Crayfish tails for sale. Oh man, that rhymes too. That's funny. Yanni Wonderful test. Why are you testing, dude? Oh man, that's funny. Oh man. Yeah, I know. I wait. Sorry, I missed that one. It amazes me how many think the government. Yeah, I know. Sure, can't keep up with these chants now. Cyril, why are you late again? Because it's Cyril. Join me. Thank you, Yanni van der Walt. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. At least someone tried. But damn, that chat thing is going super fast. I gotta drink this slowly. I gotta drink. I can't get up mid speech here. All right. So we shall see what happens. Probably. It's usually what happens. I mean, after all, we are only listening to the spokesperson of the ANC, just by the way. Lars Solis. Oh my word, dude. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Hope you're well. So yeah, Isade saying just in time. Dude, I have pasted it like 50 times. I only saw the one. All right, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I saw a test message. What are you drinking, Joe? I am drinking. I'm drinking. JC McFarlane, hello, how are you? Yeah, do that. Do that. Oh, here we go.
Fellow South Africans, time of festivity and celebrations. Unfortunately for us here in South Africa, and for others around the world, there is little cause for celebration this year. Yesterday, we passed the mark of more than 1 million confirmed coronavirus cases in our country. Nearly 27,000 South Africans are known to have died from COVID-19. The number of new coronavirus infections is climbing at an alarming and unprecedented rate. 50,000 new cases have been reported since Christmas Eve. The majority of new cases are emerging in KwaZulu-Natal, the Western Cape, Gauteng, and the Eastern Cape. Infections are also alarmingly on the rise in Limpopo. Infections are on the rise in part because, as humans, we're social beings and have an inherent need to socialize with one another. We feel the need to visit friends and family. We attend religious services and we go to parties. But this is a time of heightened danger in the face of a rising global pandemic. Across the world, countries are having to take drastic measures to curb the new waves of infections. In a number of other countries, lockdowns are being imposed, even on our own continent in some countries. We will all have heard that there is a new variant of COVID-19 that is now well established in South Africa. Our scientists briefed me the other day together with the minister, and they've been studying this new variant called 501.V2. And they've been studying its spread and its effect. It appears that it may be more contagious than the virus that drove the first wave of infections. The rapid rise in infections is being fueled by so-called super spreader events, including year-end functions, family and social gatherings, and music and cultural events. This is where infections happen most. This is cause for great alarm and points to an extreme lack of vigilance amongst us over the holiday period. We have simply let our guard down, and unfortunately, we're now paying the price. We have not been wearing our masks. We are not washing our
Because
hands
it's bullshit.
or sanitizing, and we are not keeping a safe distance from others. We've continued to host and attend social gatherings and events that in many cases violate the public health regulations. As has been the case previously, social gatherings substantially increase the risk of transmission. Venues are often poorly ventilated where these social gatherings take place, and their permitted capacity is continuously exceeded. Hand sanitizing is not used at all. Masks are worn just to gain entry into the venue, only to be taken off once people are inside. In these same social gatherings,
What about the
the
EFF protests?
consumption of alcohol in places like restaurants and nightclubs
EFF
and
protests.
taverns has contributed to risky behavior like not wearing masks, because
EFF
people always
protests.
take their masks off and they don't observe social distancing once they are under the influence of alcohol. Excessive alcohol consumption is also driving up the number of trauma cases in our hospitals. According to the data that we have, with every relaxation of the restrictions on the sale of alcohol, the number of trauma cases reporting at our hospitals has increased. These trauma cases from bullet wounds, stabbings, motor vehicle accidents, and many others are putting an unnecessary strain on our public health facilities. Our hospitals, both the private and public hospitals, are already close to full capacity in a number of provinces. And ICU beds are either full already or rapidly filling up. In the Eastern Cape, for example, the number of hospitalizations and in-hospital deaths has now surpassed the numbers witnessed in the first surge earlier this year. Several provinces are hard at work to prepare additional beds, ventilators, and oxygen to respond to this increase. Our frontline healthcare workers, who have put their lives on the line over the past 9 months to care for the ill, are becoming infected themselves in higher numbers. They are exhausted, and they are struggling under the strain of the second wave already. During the month of December, 4,630 public sector health workers contracted COVID-19, bringing the total number infected since the start of the pandemic to over 41,000 health workers. Yesterday, I saw a social media post from a doctor in one of our facilities, which I would like to share with you because in many ways it captures the situation that our health workers are having to face on a daily basis.
Is this a guilt trip?
He writes, half our consultants have COVID. More than half my colleagues had COVID or are currently in quarantine. Hospital is full. No oxygen points. Private hospitals are full. Not accepting more patients. No beds anywhere. And this is not yet the peak. Guys, he ends, we are all going to pay for your inability to be responsible with our lives. Close quote. These brave men and women who have kept our hospitals and clinics open and running through their resilience, courage, and professionalism are now at even greater risk than before. They are themselves almost at break point. They could lose their lives. More families will mourn, all because of our actions and our failure as a people to take responsibility. We are at an extremely dangerous point in our fight against the pandemic. Unless we act now, and unless we act decisively, the number of new infections will far exceed what we experienced during the first wave, and thousands more people will lose their lives. On the recommendation of the National Coronavirus Command Council and after consultation with provinces and our metro mayors, the Cabinet met this morning and has decided to put the country on an adjusted level 3 from level 1 with immediate effect from midnight tonight.
Oh, shit.
Several of the level 3 regulations are being strengthened to further limit the potential for transmission, while doing everything possible to keep the economy open. We have adjusted the restrictions that will apply at level 3 based on the lessons that we have learned through our response to date.
The courts won't allow you to do some shit, that's why.
For this step. Firstly, we want to minimize the risk of super spreader events even further. As the number of people with active infections rises,
that's
there is
why
a
he said
greater
adjusted
risk
level 3.
of an infected person without symptoms being present in a gathering and spreading the virus. Secondly, we want to decrease unsafe interactions between people. Thirdly, we want to increase the implementation of our 5 measures, they being social distancing, the wearing of masks, hand hygiene, symptom checking and testing. Fourthly, we want to decrease the burden on healthcare services so that resources can be directed to meet the needs of COVID-19 and other patients. These are the key reasons. Under the adjusted level 3 regulations, all indoor and outdoor gatherings will be prohibited for 14 days from midnight tonight, except for funerals and other limited exceptions as detailed in the regulations such as restaurants, museums, gyms, casinos. These will further be set out by the minister in regulations and will be reviewed after that period. Funerals may not be attended by more than 50 people with social distancing. Every business premise must determine the maximum number of staff and customers permitted at any one time based on the social distancing guidelines and may not exceed that limit. Coming to curfew. The nationwide curfew will be extended from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Apart from permitted workers and for medical and security emergencies, nobody, and that means nobody, is allowed outside their place of residence during curfew.
Ooh. No more New Year's.
Non-essential establishments, including shops, restaurants, bars, and all cultural venues, must close at 8 p.m. The lists of these establishments will be released shortly. We now know that the simplest and most effective way to reduce transmission of the coronavirus is to wear a cloth mask that covers the nose and the mouth whenever in public. Until now, the owners and managers of shops and public buildings, employers and operators of public transport have had a legal responsibility to ensure that everyone entering their premises or vehicle is wearing a mask. But given the grave danger our country now faces, the adjusted level 3 regulations will make every individual, meaning everyone, responsible legally for wearing a mask in public. From now on, it is compulsory for every person to wear a mask in a public space. A person who does not wear a mask covering over their nose and mouth in a public place will be committing an offense. A person who does not wear a mask could be arrested and prosecuted. On conviction, they will be liable to a fine or to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 6 months, or both a fine and imprisonment. I must admit that this is a drastic measure, but it is now necessary to ensure compliance with the most basic of preventative measures. We remain particularly concerned about the elderly and those with comorbidities, that is, with other ailments, and ask that they do their utmost to protect themselves from the virus, especially minimizing their contact with other people. One of the more difficult areas of regulation relates to the sale of alcohol.
Oh, shit.
The liquor industry is a major employer and an important contributor to our economy. Our priority at this time, however, must be to save lives. Reckless behavior due to alcohol intoxication has contributed to increased transmission. Alcohol-related accidents and violence are putting pressure on our hospital emergency units. As we head to in the lockdown, we now have to flatten the curve to protect the capacity of our healthcare system, to enable it to respond effectively to this new wave of infections. In such a scenario, every piece of medical equipment, every hospital bed, every healthcare worker, and every oxygen tank is needed to save lives. Therefore, under the strengthened regulations, the sale of alcohol from retail outlets and on-site consumption of alcohol will not be permitted. The prohibition on consuming alcohol in public spaces like parks and beaches remains. Distribution and transportation will be prohibited with exceptions that will be explained by the minister.
Oh, NDZ, okay.
These regulations may be reviewed within the next few weeks if we see a sustained decline in infections and hospital admissions, as we did before. In effect, the adjusted level 3 regulations will keep the economy open while strengthening measures to reduce transmission. With a few exceptions, businesses may continue to operate as long as all relevant health protocols and social distancing measures are adhered to. Nightclubs and businesses engaged in the sale and transportation of liquor will not be allowed to operate.
Oh, shit.
The level 3 restrictions will remain in place until the 15th of January 2021. These measures will be reviewed at that time on the basis of the state of the pandemic in our country.
Happy New Year, everyone.
When I last addressed you, I indicated that in managing the pandemic, we would follow a differentiated approach that took into account the rise in infections in particular municipalities. Municipalities defined as hotspots will be subject to additional restrictions,
of course,
until there is a clear and sustained decline in infections. Following a review of the latest available data on infections and hospitalizations and consultations with affected provinces, Cabinet has decided that the following further areas be declared coronavirus hotspots.
Nice.
In the Eastern Cape, these are Chris Hani District, Buffalo City, Amatole District, Alfred Nzo District, and the OR Tambo District. These are in addition to Nelson Mandela Bay Metro and the Sarah Bartman District, which have already been declared hotspots. In KwaZulu-Natal, these hotspot areas are eThekwini, uMgungundlovu District, Ugu District, Herigwala District, King Cetshwayo District, and Ilembe District. In Gauteng, the West Rand District, Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, and Johannesburg are declared hotspots as well.
Oh, shit.
In the Western Cape, the West Coast District, Overberg District, Winelands District, Cape Town, Central Karoo District
So the Western Cape
are hotspots. This is in addition to the Garden Route District as well.
Yeah, the Western Cape. Just say the Western Cape.
In the Northwest, Bujanala District is declared a hotspot area. And in Limpopo, the Waterberg District and the Capricorn District are declared coronavirus hotspots. When I last addressed you, we announced that certain beaches in our country would be closed on certain days and others would remain open. As the infections continue to rise, Cabinet, on the advice of the National Coronavirus Command Council, has decided that all beaches, dams, lakes, rivers, public parks, and public swimming pools in hotspot areas will be closed to the public with effect from tomorrow.
They're just playing with words now.
National and provincial parks and other parks where access control measures and entry limitations are already in place may remain open to the public. Those living in hotspot districts are strongly advised and encouraged to minimize their travel within the district to essential travel so as to minimize contact with other people. Travel to hotspot districts should be avoided by all of us if possible. The stark reality is that every single district in this country has the potential to become a hotspot unless we observe the current preventative measures. As we intensify our efforts to prevent further infections, we continue to work to ensure equitable access to an effective COVID-19 vaccine. As we have reported before, South Africa is part of the global pooled procurement initiative coordinated by COVID-19 Vaccines Global Access Facility, commonly known as COVAX. We can confirm that we have signed off on the agreement with COVAX, and the Solidarity Fund has made the initial payment of 283 million rand to the facility. We're grateful for the support we continue to receive from the Solidarity Fund across all areas of our COVID response. We should remember that the Solidarity Fund is a multi-sectoral funded initiative, having received funding from government, a number of individual South Africans, also from various institutions, including political parties, as well as business corporations. We are part of the first group of countries that will receive an allocation of vaccines from COVAX. We have been advised that we should expect the vaccines in our country in the second quarter of 2021. We are also having parallel bilateral with a number of vaccine manufacturers and will make further announcements once firm agreements are in place. As a country, we need to build a strong partnership between the government and business to augment the resources required in financing additional vaccines necessary to achieve herd immunity. Engagement to this effect are at an advanced stage, and we urge the private sector to continue their participation in this endeavor. And we applaud them for having embarked on an initiative that will be beneficial to all South Africans, but announcements in this regard will be made in due course. We're working to secure a sufficient supply of vaccines in the shortest possible time to protect the most vulnerable in our community. Until then, we have no choice but to observe the highest degree of vigilance and to protect ourselves and others in every way that we can. We each have a responsibility to wear our masks, to continue washing our hands and sanitizing them, and to continue keeping a safe distance from others. We must remember that this virus is carried through the air and that we must therefore avoid what has been described as the 3 C's: closed spaces, crowded places, and close contact with others. This virus takes advantage of our overconfidence. Because we feel healthy now, we think we cannot get sick. Because they seem fine, we believe that nothing bad can happen to our loved ones. As older people, we think it is okay. We are healthy, so we can still go to big religious services, to funerals, and socialize with our friends. I had a conversation with a friend who informed they have lost up to 5 family members who attended funerals of each other. And a sad, dark cloud has descended on their family. This virus is real. As young people, we may feel strong and invincible and believe that we are immune to becoming infected because we are young and strong. As a result, we let our guard down and we take risks. Many of those who have been infected with the virus or who have lost their friends and family in recent months will tell you how much they regret not taking the precautions that have been so well advertised when they had the chance. We can only weather this storm if we immediately and fundamentally change our behavior and our mindsets. Compliance with the health regulations should not be simply about fearing the wrath of the law. It should not be about reluctant observance or peer pressure. This is about common sense. It is about taking responsibility for our own health and the health of others. It is about protecting our mothers and fathers, our grandparents, our siblings, our children, our neighbors, our friends, our colleagues. Wearing a mask is not about your personal choice or your own appetite for risk. Instead, it is about protecting others. If you wear a mask and the person next to you does not, then you are not protected. If you wear a mask and the person next to you keeps their mask in their pocket, then you are at risk. Only if everyone wears a mask can we protect all of us from infection. By now, each one of us knows someone been affected by this pandemic in some way. There is none amongst us who can claim that we have not heard of anyone becoming ill or even dying. This is a crisis that affects all of us. This is about our lives. The sooner we understand that it could very well be us in that ambulance speeding by, or us in that hospital bed, or us being buried at that funeral, the sooner we come to the reality of what we are facing right now. If we do not understand it, or if we didn't understand it before, we should now see just how quickly a situation can change for the worse. This is precisely what we are facing now. Our situation has changed for the worse. The new year is upon us. Our children will soon be going back to school. Places of learning will soon
Is he
reopen
trying to cry?
so that they can resume their studies. We will want to get back to work, to earning, and to looking for work. We want our life to resume. We all have plans and hopes and dreams for 2021. Perhaps the greatest of them all is the simplest. We wish for the new year to bring better health, stability, and prosperity for ourselves and our families. We want it to be better than the year that has passed, because it's been a horrible year. It's been a year that has been filled with hardship. This can become our common reality if we return to the spirit of solidarity that we have displayed throughout 2020. We can, and we will, and we must defeat this pandemic. But we can only do so if we all play our part. If we experience any mild symptoms, such as a fever, a dry cough, or a tiredness, the advice is you must isolate yourself immediately and cancel any plans that you might have had. If you have difficulty breathing or shortness of breath, fever, cough, loss of smell or taste, seek medical attention immediately. We've often said that you should download the COVID Alert SA app and get notified if you have been in contact with someone with tests who have tested positive. This app has already notified many thousands of people of their potential exposure to the virus and has prevented further transmission. If you have been exposed, quarantine yourself immediately. I know that most of you have heard of this all before, but I say it again, because it is the only way we can keep ourselves and one another safe. If we all rigorously adhere to the basic precautions, and I beg you all, we will see an immediate decline in the infections and hospital admissions. This New Year's Eve will be different to any we have experienced before. Several South Africans have suggested on social media and in many other platforms that we should celebrate the dawn of the new year in a different way, and I agree with them. They have suggested that instead of parties, let us spend time with those closest to us. I support that. There have been a number of suggestions, as I said, in social media that instead of fireworks, which is the usual way in which we welcome the new year, let us each light a candle. Let us each light a candle in memory of those who have lost their lives, in tribute to those on the front line who are working tirelessly to protect us from harm, in appreciation of the great sacrifices that have been made by all those who have passed on this year, and in the confidence that the year ahead health will bring peace and hope to our people. I will light a candle at some spot here in Cape Town at exactly midnight on New Year's Eve in memory of those who have lost their lives and in tribute to those who are on the front line working to save our lives and protect us from harm. I also ask you to join me, wherever you are, in this very important symbolic gesture. Let us continue to work as one nation, united and determined. We have done it before, and we can do it again. There will come a day when this pandemic will be over. On that day, we must be able to look one another in the face and say, we gave it all that we had. We each played our part. We worked together as one nation, and we prevailed. May God continue to bless our beautiful country and protect her valuable people. I thank you.
Alrighty then, first off, before I get into this, please, anybody that is new, that is watching my channel, please subscribe. Please subscribe. All right, so a few things to say before I get into the super chats and everything else that people said. One, I am not going to light a candle for the reasons that President Ramaphosa said on New Year's Eve or New Year's or whatever. Now, hear me out before anyone freaks out. Yes, I agree. If you want to light a candle for those that have lost their lives during COVID, fine by me. No judgment here. Actually, quite a nice sentiment if you ask me. But the reason why I will light a candle is for the farmers that have been killed throughout the lockdown, right? That President Ramaphosa refuses to even mention even for 1 second, right? Did he ever once mention during this speech while he was busy guilt-tripping everybody, did he ever once mention the EFF protests and the havoc and the that the EFF have caused? No. Take note of that before you start to think that Cyril really cares about this country. The only virus that exists in this country is the ANC. And I am not afraid to say that. Mr. President, you are not my president. You continue to not be my president because you refuse to take actual leadership in what you are doing. You are not doing your job. The citizens, the South African people, are not responsible for this virus. No one is responsible for this virus, except for if you want to be really controversial and say, well, maybe the Chinese. But now South Africa is being blamed for the second strain. So are they going to treat us like the Chinese then? Is South Africa just going to be treated like the the Wuhan virus 2? Is that what's going to happen? Because trust me, right now, Mr. President, you are not doing your job very well. While some people believe that a harsher restriction is needed, and maybe the hospitals are under a lot of strain. But guess what, Mr. President? That's not the people's fault. That is the government's fault. 26 years and you guys have done nothing. You have failed to produce a thriving, wealthy, and sustainable country. The health system is shot. The education system is shot. Every single state-owned enterprise is failing, bankrupt, because you and your cronies stole everything and you continue to do so. So don't sit there and act like it's our fault that the world is crumbling around us when it's actually your fault and you refuse to do anything of substance to protect the people. That's what I have to say to you, and I hope someone does clip this and spread it far. I don't care what people say. Yes, people are dying. You know what? Every year, the seasonal flu takes people's lives. There are other diseases in this world that take people's lives. And right now, there are people that are losing their jobs, their livelihoods, and their lives because of these restrictions. There's enough science to support that these lockdowns do not exist. Even the WHO, who the ANC are in bed with, have said that lockdowns do not work. And yet, we are right back in level 3. Adjusted 3.0, 3.2, footsec, I don't care. I don't care what number you put on it. I don't care what adjective you try and use to describe it and adjust this and adjust that. Basically, lockdown level 3. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. A 9 p.m. to 6 o'clock in the morning curfew, restrictions on alcohol, restrictions on movement, and you have to wear a mask, otherwise you go to jail or you're fined. Yeah. I just think, don't get me wrong. I'm not upset because of the alcohol restrictions. I'm not upset about a lot of what he said because I actually expected it. I really did. I was hoping. I mean, anybody who's been watching my channel for a while will know that I predicted a month or two ago that we'd be back in a level 3. I just thought it was going to be mid-January or end of January. Came early. That's our Christmas present from the president. New Year's is officially canceled. And I'm willing to bet you that a lot of people are going to lose their lives over this. Because we are restricting... We're not restricting regulations, or we're not restricting movement. All we're doing is you're putting your hand around the neck of the economy and you're squeezing it till it dies, a slow death. That's what you're doing. And a lot of people are going to lose their lives, and it won't be because of the virus. It'll be because of you, ANC. It'll be because of you. Anyway, that's my rant. That's my little, thing. Again, I I called it 2 months. But you can go back and watch the previous president speeches, or anyone who's been, again, part of following me on Twitter or anything like that. I said we would go back into level 3, that they were easing us back into a lockdown level 3. And you can say adjusted all you want. It doesn't change the fact that it's a lockdown level 3. And I have been looking at some of the regulations that they have been changing. Very little difference, ladies and gentlemen. Very little difference to the original lockdown level 3, except for maybe alcohol is still somewhat. I don't even know. I can't even tell if the alcohol is on sale or not. You can, but you can't, and no transporting it. I don't know. I think maybe it's best to just wait a day or two and see what comes out. Maybe somebody will make sense of it. From what I can tell, yeah. For the next 14 working days, from midnight tonight, we're back on a lockdown level 3, guys. New Year's is an important. Well, New Year's is pretty much screwed. There you go, Eleutheria. Yeah. Hey, keep that whiskey, man. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. Yeah, you see, this is the thing. It's very confusing at the moment. It's very confusing. I don't know what's going on. I'll look at some of the news feeds that are coming out and see what people are saying. Let me go back, and I want to thank some of the super chats that came in earlier. Well, during the stream, I really couldn't address them earlier. Okay, I can't. I know there was a few other. I can't go back to see them, but here's one. Yeah. I'll let you guys read that one. That's a pretty fun. I have the best trolls on this. Yanni Vanderfault saying, please ask Cyril about load shedding. What stage are we going on? Yeah, we'll probably be lighting a candle on New Year's Eve because we have load shedding. Like, that's probably what's going to happen. So yeah. I've been getting some messages from some friends of mine sending me some stuffs. Let's see what we got here. I think this is okay. All right. So, well, he says adjusted, right? But then there's already. Sorry. It's not zooming. Okay, well, at the top it says South Africa is at alert level 3. Not adjusted, just alert level 3. Alcohol sales from retail outlets will not be permitted. This is from the South African government right now. So there you go. So alcohol sales from retail outlets will not be permitted. So there goes your thing. On-site consumption of alcohol will not be permitted. No consumption of alcohol in public spaces, including parks and beaches. Beaches are closed, by the way. So there you go. And then we have extended curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. I think we all got that. Apart from permitted workers, no person may be outside their place of residence during curfew. Apart from permitted workers, no person may be outside their place of residence during curfew. Okay. Non-essential establishments, including restaurants and bars, must close at 8 p.m. No one's allowed outside, but the bars and restaurants can stay open. Does that make any sense? Okay, literally, this is like behind each other, okay? Like, I'm not making this crap up. So the one before says, apart from permitted workers, no person may be outside their place of residence during curfew. Okay? Oh, wait, during curfew. Okay, now it makes sense. During curfew. That makes sense. Sorry, my bad. Non-essential establishments, including restaurants and bars, must close at 8 p.m. Okay, that does make sense. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought outside of curfew, like from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., people weren't allowed to be. That's my bad. Sorry. All right, well, that makes sense. So, in other words, from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., nobody's allowed out of their house. From 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., no one is allowed out of their house, which means no New Year's parties. Just saying. Every person must wear a mask in public. Drivers and operators of any form of public transport must ensure that all passengers wear a mask. The manager or owner of a building, place, or premise, including a retail store, must ensure that all customers wear a mask. An employer must ensure that all employees wear a mask while they perform their duties. Any person who does not wear a mask in a public place will be committing an offense. On conviction, they will be liable for a fine or to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 6 months, or to both a fine and imprisonment. So in a nutshell, those are the regulations, guys. So alcohol sales from retail outlets will not be permitted. So I guess that means alcohol stores are not allowed to sell alcohol. On-site consumption of alcohol will not be permitted. So does that mean that we can buy alcohol from restaurants? Don't know what that means. No consumption of alcohol in public. Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sense of all this. Thank you to the person who sent me this. So yeah, yes, I would agree with that. Level 4 light. From what I can tell, cheers JP. From what I can tell, we can still travel. He didn't say anything about traveling. He did say like, oh, but please don't go to like, hotspots, like if you can avoid it. There we go. Raven saying on the 14th of December, the WHO admitted 97% error with PCR tests. Yo. At least it is pineapple season again. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, we can still exercise apparently. They probably say retail to not include wine farms. Okay. Well, I'm supposed to be going to a wine farm tomorrow, so I guess I will find out for you guys what that is all about. Whether or not I'll be drinking wine is a whole nother story. Going for a brunch. No, you can't. There's no on-site consumption, so you cannot drink at a restaurant or bar. So you won't be driving home drunk. There's no on-site consumption. Did I read that right? Now you're making me think. Because the way they word these things, yeah, it says no. Yeah, on-site consumption of alcohol will not be permitted. It's right there. And alcohol sale from retail outlets will not be permitted. So, yeah. I don't know. That's a weird one. Yeah, like when you really start to think about it, you can't go to an alcohol store and buy alcohol, but you also can't go to a bar and have on-site consumption. However, maybe you can still buy alcohol from, I don't know. Like I said, it's very confusing. Yanni Vanderveld saying, Joe, you can go to a mall, but not the beach. Yeah. But only until 9 p.m. Guys, restaurants will have to be closing at 8. Some restaurants don't even open in the evenings. I'm pretty sure people have readjusted their trading hours, though, so that they can operate during the day. Probably people have changed their menu. Those restaurants that used to only open in the evening probably now open for breakfast and lunch. But guys, it's going to be a rough 2 weeks for a lot of people, man. It's going to be a rough 2 weeks. All right. Look. Yeah, it's that logic again. All right. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I think, yeah, this is, in my opinion, pretty crazy. I was hoping that I was wrong. I was hoping that maybe lockdown level 3 might not come at all, but it's here from midnight tonight. I'm gonna go try and figure out what the flip is going on. Yeah, all I know is it's lockdown level 3. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please become a member. Thank you all so much for this as well. It's greatly appreciated. And I will see you guys probably tomorrow evening. I think I have a stream tomorrow evening. It's Tech Tuesday with Yanni Vandervoort. We're going to be going through some of our questions and answers, or it's a Q&A session. So we'll be going through some of the questions you guys have given us over the past few weeks in previous episodes, and we'll be addressing them, those that we didn't get to. And then as well, you can ask us anything tech during that stream as well. We will address it. It's just a little bit of a fun little last Tech Tuesday before the year officially closes. And yeah, I'll probably be back during the week. Well, I'll find a way. Sorry, I will be streaming again during the week as well. So keep an eye on my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys at some point, I'm sure. Look, do what you can, survive, make the best of New Year's. I'm contemplating doing a stream on New Year's. I don't know. I'll see. I don't want to commit to it just yet. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how the next few days go. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.